Hey y'all, hope you're doing amazing. Brandon Renos here. Just got out of a hot shower, a little under the weather, so I'm a little redder than normal. Been a few days since I've done a video, and no, the third eyeball between my eyebrows is not the reason. But I do appreciate the concern. I lost a match with about 7 little kids on a trampoline and got smashed. Today we're going to talk about a little more serious topic, and most subjects, when I talk about them, I focus on cures and answers, and this is going to be nothing short of the same. But the difference is going to be I'm going to be asking a lot more questions, and I'm looking for more comments, and I'm looking for more points of views on this one. I'm going to give you mine, but I don't have like the down and dirty, the absolute 100% truth on this. So I want to hear other perspectives. Plus, I'm a white guy, and I'm going to be talking about different minorities, so it's hard to have a completely not biased opinion. So again, this is for everyone to listen. I want other perspectives as much as possible. I apologize for the bloodshot eyes. I am relatively fine, other than a little under the weather. Okay, so let's start with, we have, in my opinion, this is my opinion, we have way too many killings going on right now by cops. If you think that we're doing just fine and that, what we're at right now ratio-wise is just fine, okay, cool. Tell me why. If you're going to go down some crazy statistics on, what you're doing in order to get yourself killed and, less than 0.01% of people get killed, okay, that might be true. But does that make it right? If less than 1% of people have their houses broken into and they're murdered, does that mean we should just ignore how many people get murdered by criminals? So my question is, for most of us, I believe that most of us are sick and tired of what's going on, and we desperately do not want these type of killings to be going on, whether it's minorities being killed, white people being killed, or just cops doing anything. And so it comes down to, what are your solutions? I don't have issues with people like Colin Kaepernick standing up for what they believe in. I really don't. This is a country based on freedom. So he's standing up for what he believes in, and for me, it's never been that big of an issue, I'll be honest. But the more I see this going on, and the more I see people like Colin Kaepernick actually standing up for what they believe in, the more I pay attention and give him props for standing up when he knew he was going to take a lot of flack. People like myself were more than willing to give him flack. I was going to be one of the first people to jump all over him with the YouTube video, and the more I thought about it, the less I was able to do that. And I ended up actually writing a video that was more of a compliment to him, because I was trying to use critical thinking, and I was realizing, man, I can't attack him and use critical thinking. What is the solution for you? For me, my opinion is that cops have way too much power, way too much control, and there's way too much government restrictions, and they're constantly trying to reach their quotas, speeding tickets, and different things like this. And instead of it turning it into a good guy type of cop activity, it turns it into power trips. What good person wants to become a cop where you can get yourself killed, you don't make that good of money, and on top of that, the federal government or your state or local government is going to tell you, you need to arrest people smoking weed and tear them away from their families. You need to pull over people because they have a tinted window. You need to pull people over so many times a day for speeding. Instead of it becoming about serving your community and helping the community, it drives the scum of the earth, the power trips, the control trips, the type that will shoot you because they're egotistical. So I start off with this, and I look at it from a police standpoint. I think we need a complete revamping of our system. First of all, why do we have a drug war? I thought this was a free country. You could do what you wanted to your own body. I'm all for laws that are like reckless driving. I'm all for drinking and driving laws, no drinking and driving. Those make sense because they interfere with other people's lives. But these laws of, you can't have tinted windows? Dude, that's your own choice. Things like this, it gets to the point where it's ridiculous, and we have less respect for the law. They have less respect for us because they can pull us over for any reason. And it gets to the point where I'm a white guy that has practically a clean record, and I do not want to see a cop behind me, period. Lights on, lights off. It does not make me feel safer. End of story. Am I saying all cops are bad? No. But I'm trying to come up with answers and cures for the problems we have. Also, on the subject of minorities, I think this is a little more of a population issue. There's more minorities that grow up in government housing than any other race, mainly blacks and Mexicans. I'm not saying that as a good thing or a bad thing. I'm saying that as it's reality. And so you have a tremendous amount of youth that grow up in government housing, which is the worst of the worst. They're surrounded by people that use the system. They're surrounded by lazy people. They're surrounded by druggies. They're surrounded by alcoholics. They're surrounded by broken families. And this is what these kids are born into. And they grow up in the system. They don't have good influences. Then they go to public schools, which in those areas are even worse than the average public school, which is saying something. And these poor kids have nowhere to go. If they drop out, they can't get a job because employers are forced to discriminate because of minimum wage laws. So I can't hire some black kid if he doesn't have the training or the skills that I would need him to have in order to be worth $7 or $8 an hour or whatever the minimum wage is. I'm not going to hire somebody and lose money. So these kids are at a huge disadvantage. They come through a broken system. They then can't get a job because the federal government forces these kids or forces employers to discriminate against them. And then they end up what? Well, they don't have good examples. They already grew up in a horrible scenario. So now they end up doing drugs. They end up as prostitutes. They end up in gangs. And this becomes a pattern. Of course, that's not going to help cops either, because if they're constantly dealing with a higher percentage of blacks over whites, guess what they're going to do? They're going to be more racist. They're going to be more stereotyping. They're going to be more negative towards different races because of their experience out in the field. This is going to happen to even normal good people that are not racist or not power trips. It's just a natural consequence of laws. So I just want answers. I want people's opinions. I want all kinds of different skin colors. What's your perspective? What's the best way to fix things? What's the best way to fix problems? To me, it also starts, another issue is our legal system. If you're a wealthy person and you get pulled over for smoking a joint or you get caught for smoking weed, you're good to go. You're not going to go to jail or you're not going to go to prison. I mean, look at Obama's daughter. She's black. She got caught smoking a joint. She's not going to go to jail or prison. We don't have to worry about her. But if some black person out in the ghetto got caught smoking a joint, he'd go to jail or prison. So this isn't all skin color. I'm not saying that there isn't some that is involved in it. But I'm looking for more answers that don't always involve race, because race divides us. I look at everyone as an individual. We all have individual rights. It's not black rights, not white rights, women's rights, gay rights, none of that stuff. Individual rights. That's the smallest minority out there. So I'm always looking for recommendations. I'm always looking for cures. I'm always looking for answers. And this is one of the topics I don't have all the answers for. I'm not promoting my own agendas too much. I'm giving you my opinions. But maybe I'm completely wrong. Show me. Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm always willing to listen. Always willing to learn. Let's try to fix this, guys. Let's work together. Let's unite. This isn't a skin color issue. This is a life and death issue for some people. This is a rights issue. This is a freedom issue. Let's make sure we protect the person on our left and on our right, no matter what their skin color, no matter what their religion, no matter what their race, no matter what their nationality. Let's give them the same rights we would expect us to be given. Even if we don't smoke weed, we should defend their right to do what they want to their own body. I don't smoke it. I still support other people to do it. I don't smoke tobacco. I still support others to do it. I don't drink. I still support others drinking. This is about supporting individual freedom, people making their own choices. If you guys like these type of videos, hit subscribe. I'm going to be posting videos like this at least 1, 2, 3, 4 a week. Every other day. I don't have an exact number. I just do them as I see the issues popping up. They're always heartfelt. That's what you're getting. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Normally I look a little more sober and I don't look so bloodshot with my eyes, but it's been a long week. I apologize. Thank you all. Have yourself a wonderful day. God bless.